Okay, so what I want to talk about in this tutorial is a very common scenario where you get a data set from somewhere, but you've got a load of blank columns. Okay, so for example, you've got blank columns here, blank columns there, but you also have kind of a bunch of these blank rows as well, which you really, really don't want. You need to remove all those if you're going to do anything like sorting, filtering, pivot tables, or anything like that in Excel. So you can kind of manually go through it and do your control and minus. But what I want to show you here is kind of a quicker way to do it, which is using Power Query. Okay. So what we're going to do today is, in this tutorial, is I'm going to kind of show you how you can import this file here, all right? But then if you need to do the same thing with another file next month, how you can basically just reuse the same Power Query steps that you have already. So we're going to begin by opening a blank Excel file. So here we go. We've got our blank Excel file. I'm going to go up here to Data. Okay, if I clicked on the right one, that would help. I'm going to go up here to Data, first of all. And then I'm going to go over here to Get Data. And then from the drop-down, I'm going to choose From File and From Excel Workbook. Now you see there you have a bunch of other options, but we're going to stick to our Excel workbook for the time being. And the next step then is basically to locate the file that we want to use, which in this case is this one. And then I click Import down here. And this is basically just going to pull it into Power Query for me. Now when I do this, this option comes up. So what I need to do is I need to just click on this sheet 1 here. All right, and there my sheet 1. I can see the data as is. And to pull it into Power Query to do the cleanup, I need to come down here to Transform Data. And that will then just pull it into Power Query. Here we go. Okay, so here we are in our Power Query. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to draw your attention to one thing before we begin, which is over here. I've got a thing called Source, which we're going to be using later on. So I click over here on my invoice ID. Got this one up there. And I'm just going to basically remove the nulls. Click here. I just remove the tick from the nulls and I click OK. And see that removes the nulls from them all. Now I don't need this column 4. And a quick way for me to check is just to click up here. I see the only thing I've gotten is null, so right click and remove. Okay. I go scroll across just so I check all the rest of the data. And then you see there I have a column 12 up here. And again, click here. I have nothing in it but null, so I'm just going to remove my column. And I keep going across, see if I've got anything else. Don't need column 17 either. And again, have a quick check. Just see there's nothing in it. Nope, just null. Right click and remove. And then if I go across again, there we are, all good to go. So my data is all nice and tidy and cleaned up. So then I just need to come up here then to Home. And I'm just going to go to Close and Load. I'm just going to go Close and Load 2. And I'm just going to go to Table and click OK. And there's my data, nice and clean and all the rest of it. Now, let's say for the next month, I basically need to do the same thing again. It's the same transformation. So what I can do here is I'm just going to show you the other file that I've got done up. Okay, so this is my new file, the file I need to clean up, and just a couple of differences. For example, I've got Galway over here, and let's say I've got Cork. So I've got just these 2 new cities in it. And I might have also added in a few extra blank rows as well. So what we're going to do is we're now going to apply the transformation we've just done to this new file. So I'm back in the old file again. So just make sure I clicked in this is my old data, this is the new, see down here, this is the new cleaned up version. And if I come over here to my query, up here, because this is where I can kind of access my Power Query. And then if I just come over here and I go to Edit. So I can go to here, or if this one is open, I could also do a right click down here as well. There, like many things, it'll bring you into it. So just go to Edit. And what I'm going to do at this point then is I come over here to the source. All right. And I always think of this a bit like a railway where you're like switching the roads. Go to this one, source. Click on my little cog over here because I want to just, and then I go to browse, which is here. And now I just basically pointed at my new file. Okay, so I just go up here to new, and then I click import, and then I click OK. And if I come down here to the bottom, so you've got removed columns, Galway's here. Just go back into close and load. Load. Okay. And there's my new data set cleaned up and ready to go. Now with the old data set, probably a good idea to save it first as whatever it is you want to save it, and then just to update it. Now I've also noticed one other thing here, which is the time. I noticed it's not coming out the way I expect. So I'm just going to go back in here to this one, right click and edit. And I just go to my time over here, wherever I can find it. Time, and I right click on the time, and over here to my data type, I just actually change that to time. You will find sometimes it does weird stuff like this. Yeah, that's a bit better. And then I can just go close and load, close and load, and there we go. There it's coming out with the time on it. Okay, hope you find this useful. Mind yourself and take care. Bye.